Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Arun. I'm a leadership coach. And once again, I'm here with you to share my thoughts on a very important and relevant topic is what matters most in shaping your career. In order to understand this, let's think about our parents or people who worked in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s. Now, these are those people when they had started their career, they had very few options to choose from, and they had to work very hard in getting their first job. But what was happening in those days that the organization had a lot of time, a lot of patience to invest on their employees by training them, developing them, and constantly engaging them. And because of less opportunities outside, the employees used to stick to their jobs very steadily in a very focused way. And because of which, they had a very steady career. And people used to work for 20 years, 30 years, or 35 to 40 years and continue growing with that organization. And that's why when you look back, even if their salaries were low, they were happy, they were more content, and things were going smooth. But when we talk today in 2024 and what we are going to see in 2030, it's going to change drastically. The way organizations are growing, competition is growing, the expectation from the employees is going up, up, and up. And now the companies do not have time to train people. They have money, they are ready to hire a ready talent rather than they have time to invest on the talent for development and growth. And likewise, the expectations are so high that if you do not deliver within your first 1 to 3 months, you are asked to leave. And I'm not saying only for young companies, I am even saying for bigger and established organizations as well. This means a lot of responsibility lies on you, what you are going to do about your career now. Because on one hand, the organizations are not ready to invest. They want you to come and perform from day one. And number two, the jobs are definitely more today because of fierce competition, startups, and some expansions, globalization. But then the longevity of job is not more than 18 months to 24 months. If I meet a person today with 4 to 5 years of experience, he or she would have changed at least 3 to 5 jobs by now, and they are looking for more. But at the end, what they are missing out in changing these jobs, their salary doesn't increase high, but the expectation from the employer becomes higher and higher if they haven't worked on their competencies. So if you keep changing jobs one after another, the quality of the organization, culture, and standards would go down, and so is your paycheck. So in this scenario, what to do? This is what we are going to talk today, that what to do now to shape up your career. What is it that is going to make all the difference? This is what I'm going to talk about in my next part of this presentation, which will help you not only to understand what is the reality, but at the same time, what are some of the brands, some of the companies are doing some best practices that we can learn from them, that we can imbibe from them, that how we can become more powerful, more unique, more faster or better than our competition. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to make this small presentation very interesting. And don't forget to like and subscribe my channel for more reach. Now, to begin with, I want to ask that if you can answer some of these questions, I'm sure it will give you a lot of thought to think where you are. So to begin with, I've got 3 questions for you. My first question is, what makes you special? Because this is one area that you have to identify if you haven't. If you are a part of the crowd and you have not thought about it, what makes you special, you are going to miss the bigger objective that is in front of you. So you may say that I'm very special in closing deals for the organization. I am very special in converting some top-end customers. I'm very special in a particular set of coding. So you need to know that what makes you special. That's the first question. Second question is whom you are competing with. If you do not know who is your competition, then you are missing the whole bus. What is important is that who is your first and closest competitor. Let's say you are aspiring for a marketing lead role. Now you have to look at it that people who are at the marketing lead role, what kind of competencies, what kind of education, what kind of certifications, what kind of qualifications they have added over a period of time. If you do not know them, and you may think that you are doing a great job, you are receiving award, you are getting special recognition in your organization, it's not just going to be sufficient for you. You also need to keep a watch on whom you are competing with, how they are better, how they are earning more than you, how they are going to the most sought after organizations where you are falling short of it. Next question is who you can replace and how. Important thing is if you know what makes you special and whom you are competing with, if you have done these two areas well, then you know that if this is the person I have to replace, what all I need to do to be capable of, whether you are inside your current organization or you are aspiring to go to a new organization. So until the game is not at the same level or you do not have a slight edge over others, you are going to struggle. Now, having said this, if these questions are clear to you, then if you go for an interview or if you want to get better at it, you have to look at these 5 important parameters. Now, what are these 5 important parameters? Are you the first? Have you done anything that makes you first? Number 2, are you the only? If you are the only one who has done something which nobody has done, maybe you have done a fantastic sale or you have done a certification in the world which has not been done by anyone, then it makes you special, it makes you unique, and that is going to be a deciding factor. Are you faster? Can you do things faster? If suppose someone takes 20 days to finish a task, can you do it in 5 days? If suppose some project has to be done in 2 months, can you do it in 15 days? Something like this, you have to think about it. Are you faster? Better? And most important, the last one is, are you cheaper? Because imagine with same education, with same background of experience, if 5 people are going and applying for the same job, how you are first, only faster, better, and cheaper? Because somebody behind you is waiting in the queue saying that, see, I have a special degree, but I'm cheaper than you. And the preference can go to that person. But if you carry something very unique in terms of first, only, faster, better, there are very, very high chances you will be able to compete. Now, if you have to, now what is important, I want you to think is, if you have to be in this space, it's a continuous space. It's not that you have done something for the first time or you're the only, because there is someone who is waiting outside and he's ready to come and make you the second or the third one. So this is a field which is an always evolving and a dynamic area where you need to keep doing the work to make yourself special. Now, let's look at some of the examples from some of the popular brands. Now, let's look at some of the brand names like Nike, Amazon, or maybe Flipkart, Netflix, Decathlon, or Starbucks. Now, if you look at all these brands, no doubt, all these brands are number one in their field. But what has made them number one? Nothing but the same. They were either first, or they were only, or they were better, or they were cheaper, or they were unique in their own way. And that's how they were able to differentiate themselves. Now that brings me a very important point and a slide that what I am sure, if you are working right now in whatever field, what you are selling, that is more important that you need to look at it. You may say that you are selling shoes, you are selling a product, you are selling medicine, you are selling ideas, whatever it is. What is important is you need to understand first and foremost, what is yours? What are the things that are in your control is your brain power. You are selling your brain power. That means you have the capability to create ideas. You have the capability to think. You have the capability to analyze. That is your brain power. So at the end, this is what you are paid for today if you have a right brain power. Number two, you have knowledge. This is something that you're selling, that I am more knowledgeable than X, Y, or Z. If you can show that, this is what you need to develop in your day-to-day work. Number three, you have to work very clearly on your energy, enthusiasm, passion, and most importantly, your skills. This is what people look into you when they hire you. This is what people pay you when they have to buy a product or service from you. If you have these five factors, brain power, knowledge, energy, passion, skills, you are going to be differentiating yourself from others. I hope this gives you some idea. And if really it gives you some idea, give me a thumbs up that how you really need to shape up your career by focusing on these five important areas to differentiate yourself. Now, if you are able to do this, then the next concept that I want you to understand is there are two things that you need to really work upon. Because if you want to be special, if you want to be unique, you really need to write and complete this statement. A company hires me over others professional because I am faster, I am better, I am cheaper, I am unique. Any of this, you have to fill this. If you are able to do that very clearly, if you are able to define it very clearly, you can win anything. And if you are not, this also poses a question. A company will hire me over other professional because I think I need to do a special course. I need to develop my communication skills. I really need to work on my brain power in creating thinking strategically or visionary or conceptual building or maybe critical thinking. Any of these factors I really need to shape up so that I can come and fill this. A company hires me over other professionals because if you are able to do that, it simply differentiates you than others. And that makes you special. Even if you're going to your customer, you tell that your product is unique. It is better, faster, cheaper than others. So why not you? Why not you make yourself unique and special over others? So what is the way forward? There are two things that you can do, how to make yourself unique and special. Focus on your niche. Don't try to do everything. Don't try to be best at everything. Pick one area and just dwell deeper into it. To give you an example, let's say you are very good in selling. Now, how do you create and models and success stories around selling one after another challenge that comes your way? Or let's say you want to focus on building your strategic thinking skills. Do all the courses, take all the projects in the organization or even outside the organization, so that tomorrow in next 3 years time, if suppose somebody has to say Mr. X is the best and the known person who is highly strategic, who can teach strategy, who can help companies to create models on strategy. Think like that. That will help you to shape up your career. Just don't try to be everything at every time. Just like everybody wakes up in the morning, leaves for the office, travels for 4 hours, sit in the office for 8 hours and come back. It has no meaning at all. You have to pick up a niche, you have to strive for excellence, get better at it, and then fulfill that statement. A company will hire me because over others, because I am special in these areas. I hope again it's making you some sense. Do share your comments on this if you really like this content. Now, the last part that I want you to focus upon, that why I'm harping on to become a specialized person in a particular domain, because you have got two kinds of assets. One is called as soft asset and the second is called as the hard asset. As we only know that soft assets or soft skills, they cannot be measured, but we measure our hard skills very clearly. So let's understand that what is in your control and how your soft assets are directly proportional to your hard assets. Number one, when we look at the soft assets, what comes in my mind? Knowledge. As I said, information, skills, professional network. These are some of your areas, your reputation, your brand are your soft assets. That means if you keep building on them and how sharp you are. Let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, if you are at 4 on certain things on these areas, how I can become 7, how I can become 8 should be the motto of your life, because this is going to shape up your career if you spend 80% of your time on your soft skills. Now, if you are able to work on your soft skills, what are the hard assets that are going to be on your side? Your balance sheet. Now, today, in very simple words, go and check your bank balance. The amount of money you have in your bank balance is directly proportional to your soft skills. That how good are you on knowledge, information, skills, behavior, reputation, and your brand. Number two, look at the cash or the money that you have. Very clear indicator. These are the simplest indicator. If you have enough money for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years in your bank account, that clearly shows that you are very strong on these left side of your softer assets. Likewise, another thing is your stocks and real estate, how much properties that you have made. All these are hard assets. One can count on it. One can measure it. And that's why a lot of people focus on their hard, but they forget to focus on their soft. And that's where they miss out the most important part, that if they work on their soft assets more, their hard assets are always going to go up. But if you go down on your soft assets, your hard assets are also going to go down. So what requires us to shape up our career? In very simple terms, in today's world, as I begin my talk, the success of any individual is directly linked to how much you are shaping up your brain power, your uniqueness, how special you are, what makes you the only, the first, the better, the cheaper over others, can differentiate and can give you the success that you're always looking for. So strive for excellence, strive for one area, go for higher education, go for higher skill development, and then tell the world that this is me who is unique and special. And if you want to now take my services, you have to pay me the premium, because I am not one of them. I am the only one. So I hope this video would have given you some deeper insights about what you should do in shaping up your career. And for any professional support, you can write back to me on my email ID, arun.thukral@hcnconnect.in. And I'll be more than happy to share my thoughts with you and some skill set programs that I have developed for your betterment. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching me. Share your feedback below in the comment section.